Hello, everyone. Thank you for downloading the Trust Your Gut Challenge. If you're new to me and my work, I am Mary. I run Intentional Intuition. Welcome to the community. I also saw the faces of some old friends and clients who downloaded the guide, so super happy to see you guys here. And I am really excited to get started with this challenge. I'm going to be starting this challenge on May 1st. I'm going to post about it on the Intentional Intuition blog. You are welcome to come and join me. You're also welcome to do your own self-paced, self-guided, trust your gut challenge whenever you would like. I designed it that way on purpose. So, we can all strengthen our own intuition and learn how we can hear our gut feelings a little bit better. I wrote a whole blog post on the gut brain connection and how your gut is sort of even proven as a source of intuitive insight. So when you get a chance, go and check that out. Um, I also wanted to do a quick overview of what we are going to be doing in this challenge so you kind of know the rhyme and reason behind each of the activities. The first thing that you'll be doing every day is a quick meditation and breath work. I intentionally made this super short and very fast because we all have very busy lives. I know for me that if I try to do an hour long or even a half an hour meditation, I'm less likely to stick to that. So, as we get started building this habit, I thought it would just be 9 breaths. It's less than a minute. And that sort of gets your energy flowing, clears out some of the old energetic junk that we don't need for our day, fills us with some fresh air and some fresh energy. Meditation is also very important when it comes to becoming intuitively receptive because as we start out kind of in our waking state, our brain waves are in an alpha state. And science shows that if you are in a theta state or a delta state of brainwave, you are more intuitively receptive, you're more creative, you're more in the flow state. And that is the purpose of meditation. It kind of switches your brain waves to be in that state. So it has a very significant meaning to being open and available to insights. So that's the purpose of the meditation. And then next, you will kind of set your intention for your day, get out your journal, write down a couple questions, things that you would love to receive information on for the day, some answers that you're hoping to find. And you can get quiet and even take a moment or two in the morning to sit and just sort of allow impressions to come in to answer that question or to contribute to and answer that question. It might not make a ton of sense right away. You might get sort of strange symbols or nothing, or you might just hear an airplane outside, which anything that you notice is probably part of your answer. So just pay attention to everything, jot it all down, and trust that it will probably make some more sense later. And then your next task is to just go about your day. Go about your day with a sense of intentionally noticing things that seem to either repeat themselves or that come to you that feel like an answer, or times when you think about your question during the day, look around and see what it is that you notice, because all of those are input. And just sort of make a mental note of those. There are a couple bonus exercises at the back of the guide. You can also do those on days that you have time, going for a mindful walk, that kind of thing. And then the last thing that you do each day when you're finished with all of your activities for the day is do the 9 breaths again. So you get into that receptive state, allow information to come in, and then write down all the things that happened during the day that you think may have been part of the answer or may have been a little intuitive hit that you got sometime throughout the day. And then reflect on it. Like, do they make sense? Do they not make sense? Um, did it give you a feeling about what the answer might be? You don't always need to understand why and where things came from. Just trust and just sort of do some automatic writing, of like, what are your reflections for the day? And you'll notice that as you accumulate these journals over time, that you'll start to see a pattern. You start to get answers. It starts to get easier to interpret what's coming in and to know what you're sensing. So that is kind of the daily plan of the things that you're going to be doing during the challenge. So, lastly, I wanted to encourage you all to share in the comments. Think of a time that you had a gut feeling that turned out to be pretty significant to what was going on, and just share that little story with me. Because I feel like if we can remember sometimes, like, oh, yeah, that one time I had a hunch that, I needed to take this job instead of that job, even though that didn't make sense on paper, I knew it in my gut. And that led to this huge thing. Like, that's an example um, of a time that a gut feeling led you to a huge insight. For me, I tried to think of a couple examples, and the one that came to mind the strongest was a few winters ago. I had this feeling that I needed to fly home to Indiana to see my family. I live in Denver, they live in rural Indiana. I almost never go in the winter. Travel can kind of be a disaster. I have been delayed many, many times, stuck in the Fort Wayne airport. And it's just sort of gloomy and it's a tough time to travel. So I always go when the weather is nice. So it's a very out of the ordinary for me to have this super strong feeling that like I need to go home right now. So I got care for my kids. I canceled my plans. I got off of work, got my ticket, flew home to Indiana. And two things. One, I learned that I had a sibling who was in a really, really rough place, but was kind of keeping it to herself. So I didn't know. But she really, really needed me. And I'm very glad that I was there right at that moment. And the other thing is that this was February of 2020. So little did I know that less than a month later, the world was going to shut down, right? Like I had no idea. And I didn't have an inkling of why I needed to go home. I just knew that I needed to go. That's super common. Sometimes you don't know why. You just know, like, I just have this feeling and I have to follow it. And then in retrospect, I didn't get to see them again for over another year. So I'm so, so glad that I listened to that. So that's my example of like a gut feeling that sort of spontaneously happened. It came to me and I listened to it and I'm really, really glad that I did. So tell me your story. I would love to hear it. And if you want to join me, I will get started posting about my experiences on Wednesday, May 1st. And I'm really glad to have you along. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye bye.